Welcome again, everybody, to K9TC channel. This is Will here. I've went ahead and I've fire hardened and my I'm calling my K9TC tactical knife. The K9TC custom tactical. Yeah, and I've treated it. So she's all oiled up and ready to go. At this point in time, I'm not going to put anything on it. I may add maybe a grip tape or something later. I don't know, probably not. So the only thing I may do is put in the neck or put a lanyard hole in the end. That's probably about it. Other than doing the sheaths. Got to see the review on the Machete. Here we got another one, which is, this one's 16. Remember, our other one was from tip to tip 18. But done something a little bit different on this. I've left the two holes in the end. I use these for hanging, actually, amongst other things. And I've decided for now this is how I'm going to leave this. Essentially what I've done was with the edge, if you remember the edge come up, I folded it over to make a smooth line, and I started with one end, and what I've done was with the leather strip, and by the way, this leather was actually leather off the chair that this thing came from, and I actually took a hammer and I popped it in, that way it was tight and it wouldn't come out, and I wrapped it. Now what I did was I wrapped it fairly tight all the way around, and then when I got the back, I actually poked it in up underneath here, and again I hammered it down, that way it won't come off. But before I did that, what I did was I soaked it in warm water and let it sit there for a few hours, and I stretched the leather a little bit. So as you can see now, with some of it like this, it's drying out, and what it can't pull off, it's kind of pulling out. Underneath the leather, what I've actually did was, I didn't use this flathead for example, but I took basically some polyester stuffing and foam and put it in there, and I packed it in there and pushed it in where I wanted to push it into on both sides, which brought out my grip out sideways. Although it would be nice to have this back a little bit wider as it sets right now. You know, it's got a good grip, so it's pretty thick, and if you look, it's thicker than this other, with actually the shoelaces. So it's fire hardened and treated. So, and I actually, like I said, I didn't went ahead and resharpen this. I need to, since I've treated this, it's pretty sharp, and I'm gonna go ahead and put another edge on it and clean up the edge a little bit. But I mean, other than that, I mean, as you can see, we've come up without this chair. We've got, of course, our two machetes and a knife. Now, mind you that if we were to go out and buy the machetes, we're still looking at anywhere, depending on where you buy it at. For example, Walmart, I believe they have them around $10 or so. I think Harbor Freights, you can get some pretty cheap. They're not the best quality either, but pretty cheap machetes for around, between $5 to $10, depending on if you can catch it on a sale. You're looking at the cold steel. You're looking at, you're still looking at $20, $30, $40 and more. So essentially, we've saved money. We got something that we can use either if we need something to cut down weeds around the house. We've got something we can use that. If we need something for our doomsday or apocalypse or shit hit the fan bag or bug out bag, which I'm actually going to be throwing these all in my bug out bag. So as you can see, it's not too bad. On another note, the next one, if I do make another one, I'll end up making it probably longer. But it was only so long, and I wanted to use a piece that I could just be able to use real quick. I wanted to make them fast, just for the simple fact that I want to put this on YouTube, and I need to get it out there so everybody can see what's going on. I could have took more time. I could have went into more detail. Tested this one. I've done the same thing with this one. What helps is that I've taken some of the weight when I cut it out, as I took some of the weight actually out of the handle, which makes helps make the blade a little bit heavier and offsets it. And materials you put back, it just kind of depends. So, but in general, it's kind of not a bad thing going. So, if if you really want me to make some more stuff, I can. I've got no problem making more weapons. Like I said, this thing is, it's razor sharp, and as you can see, if you look at it real close, I'd actually use the, since it's a little bit dirty, so, but like I said, once you heat treat it, and you can take virtually any decent steel and heat treat it, and you can make it a good durable steel. This I've effectively made it a little harder to sharpen, for example, but on the upside, once I sharpen, I do not have to worry about them dulling out real fast. So so there goes saying again, trying to knock it off. So, but enjoy the video. Go out and I harden, like I said, I harden these in a regular fire pit in and the coals. Like I said, I started out with something smaller limbs and got me a decent fire going, and I let it burn for a few hours, for several hours, for maybe like 3 or 4 hours. I wanted to get me a really good coal bed going in there, and just constantly adding smaller stuff to it. That way it burns quicker and kind of gets it down in there. Periodically tapping it down with a stick to breaking up the smaller branches, stuff like that. So got me a good bed of coals, and just stick it in, get them red hot. Well, red hot, well, white hot, and you're putting them in the basically you can do oil. What I had at the ready is I had just water, just regular water, and I put it back in the fire. And you know, I did it several times, and it's going to be hit and miss. If I find that this is, for some reason, say, you know, well, it seems to not be as hard of material as I really want it to be, I can always take off the handle. I can always throw it back in the fire, and I can always reharden it. So just keep in mind, just in general, you can do a lot of things. So the next thing I've actually been thinking about is, well, here we go. Look, for example, I'll show you this. This is a, not sure where I ended up with it from, but what is that? That's a, yeah, it's a pizza server. With that, it's a pretty flimsy metal right now, but if I heat treated it, man, I could make this thing so freaking stiff, you wouldn't believe it. But one of the things you don't want, like I said, you don't want it to be, you know, flimsy, obviously, for using it. And you don't want it to mess with the blade. You don't want it to break it. So, you know, just try. Don't go out. Don't buy a $200 knife. You know, I recommend you go buy a good name brand knife. But you can always make your own. Like I said, next video regarding these will be the sheets. So hope you enjoyed, and snip you later.